this time, it was during the time when the judges were ruling in Israel, and then after one of the judges had died, then the Israelites started to not seek after God, and they started to sin against God. And then God, as a result, because they had broken the covenant, he gave them to the Canaanites. And the Canaanites came in and wiped them out and oppressed them for about 20 years. And then while they were being oppressed, like, the people, they cried out to the Lord, and the Lord heard them. And he decided to send someone to deliver them from the commander, his name was Sisera, that's this guy. And they were very hard pressed. And at this time, Deborah was actually judging in Israel, and all of the people would come to her, and like they would bring all of their problems, and she would judge. She was also a prophetess, which is kind of interesting. And at one point, she summoned Barak, who was one of the commanders in Israel. And she said, why are you not going and following what God told you to do? Like, I'll lead, basically put all of your men here, I'll lead the Canaanites into this trap. And he goes, I won't go, even though God is telling me, not unless you go with me. And she goes, fine, I'll go with you, but you will not get the glory for this battle, for the commander Sisera will die at the hand of a woman. And so she ended up going with them for the battle, and then in the battle, like, at one point she ends up saying, like, when they are rising up from their hiding place and everything, she's like, up, for this is the day which the Lord has given Sisera into your hand. Does not the Lord go out before you? And they annihilated the Canaanite army. And Sisera fled. He even left his chariot to flee on foot so that they couldn't track him as easily. And as he was running, he went by the tent of one of his allies, and his ally's wife, Jael, comes out of the tent and is like, turn aside here, come on in, you'll be safe, don't be afraid. And then she, he's thirsty, so she gets him some milk and hides him under a rug, and then he falls fast asleep while she's standing guard kind of at the entrance to the tent. And as she's standing guard, then after he falls asleep, she went and found a mallet and some tent pegs and drove the tent peg through his skull and into the ground. And then later on, as Barak and the Israelite army who are chasing come, she goes out and meets them and says, come, I have the man you're looking for here. And she shows them, and they find him with Sisera with the tent peg through his head. And that is how God delivered them from the Canaanites. So